I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see the exciting second-year quarterback Lamar Jackson of the Baltimore Ravens as they square off with Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks. With that, let's get up to Seattle. Standing by at CenturyLink Field, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Coach, we are just about set for football at CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. A few moments ago, they raised the 12th man banner, and this place, as usual, rocking and rolling. This crowd, as we've come to expect in recent years, as loud as any in the NFL, and they get even louder when their Seahawks are introduced. We're ready for football as the Seahawks get set to do battle with the Baltimore Ravens. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. And this is a game where the defenses, they need to be on their toes because you've got quarterbacks here, yes, that can throw the football, but they can also run it very well, too.
Mobile quarterbacks. Remember, for the longest time, they used to tell the quarterbacks, stay in the pocket. We don't want you outside of it at all. Nowadays, that mobility, truly an asset, and people are game planning for it. As a scout told me recently, we are actually working with what the colleges are giving us nowadays.
Justin Tucker set to boom this one away. And off we go from Seattle. This one taken from the 7. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Time to get a peek at Russell Wilson, quarterback bringing out the Seattle Seahawks offense. Week 6, 4-point victory over Cleveland. Russell Wilson was 5 yards shy at 300 at 295 and also 2 touchdown passes. He continues to do his thing in 2019.
14 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions on the year. And I love how you said, let's get a peek at him. You and I both know, both eyes are wide open when Russell Wilson is on the field. And that game against Cleveland, he and the Seattle offense, they were really challenged, weren't they? The lead kept going back and forth. He led the late drive to get the win on the road.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. And that is incomplete, but a penalty flag is down. This could possibly be a push-off. Looked like some hands both ways. They got it on the offense.
And sometimes there's a fine line between being the receiver and the DB, and he knocked that one away. Might have caused an incompletion that could have been an interception.
Green 80! Here we go, dude. Here I come.
Throwing is Wilson. This complete to Lockett. 18 yards to pick up there. That catch certainly easier than the one Tyler Lockett made in the back left corner of the end zone in the Thursday night win over the Rams in Week 5. My goodness, that was incredible. In fact, the advanced metrics called it the most improbable catch in the NFL in the last 2 years. And if for some reason you missed it, look it up. Pretty impressive. This is Chris Carson, 1,000-yard rusher a year ago. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. 16 yards, a first down. Carson, who was a 1,000-yard rusher a season ago, has picked up the pace this year after a slow start. 3 straight 100-yard games. Most recently, Week 6, 124 yards and the game-winning score in the 4-point win over Cleveland on the road. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Here's Carson. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. Play 3 of the drive not as successful. They go backwards after those 2 first down gains. The defense is saying, okay, now that's more like it.
Yeah, we hear from coaches all the time how they preach a next play mentality. Doesn't matter whether the previous one was good or bad. You move on to the next one. But we just saw evidence of that happening right there.
Now on 2nd and 13. Wilson, and that's complete to Luke Wilson. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. And one of the big bodies helping out this offense is your boy, Upati.
And all he wants to do is have running plays called. Fire out and smack people.
And now on third down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first. From the shotgun, Wilson. It's caught. Lockett. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up fourth. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
Now here's Jason Myers. He gets set for the Seahawk field goal. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And that's off the right upright, and it bounces away no good. And this will remain a scoreless game. So distance not the issue there. He had plenty of leg to get it there. It's that darn upright getting in the way.
Always gets in the way of a good time, doesn't it? Because he hit it square, too. Sometimes you can bank one in if you get it on the end of the football. No such luck there for him.
Ravens here going to get the football back on offense, but let's look big picture at what's going on right now. They lead the AFC North by 2 games, and I know we're only 6 weeks in, but that's a nice little cushion.
It's an excellent cushion because you had to consider going into the season, and you had to figure Pittsburgh would be right there neck and neck with them. Baltimore, you knew, would be a contender. And, of course, Cleveland was everyone's darling in the preseason. So to be 2 games clear at this point of the season, that's big for them. The best part, they can actually extend the lead. They go to Seattle, and they can play with just about anyone. Have an open week, home to the Patriots on a Sunday night game, and then a rematch with the Bengals. You have to figure at the least they win one of those 3, maybe even 2.
9 yards on the first down. Keeper, and it's 2nd and 1. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
He'll get this up to the 34, and a good lane opening up right away for it. 11 yards there, first down. Baltimore was the most run-heavy team in the league last year after Lamar Jackson took over as a starter. And you think about Mark Ingram. He goes from a situation where he was sharing time with Kamara in New Orleans. Now he figures to be the top guy in the Baltimore backfield, although I guess you could say he's kind of splitting time with his quarterback, Lamar Jackson. But a great veteran presence Mark Ingram is behind Jackson. Ingram now in his 9th NFL season. Ingram again, a first down carry. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Moving backwards on first down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on 2nd down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
And now Jackson will look to throw it. Roberts has it. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Many teams, as soon as they spot man defense, if they haven't called a hitch, they'll get to it as fast as they can. They want to put the ball in the hands of one of their best playmakers and hope that he can break a tackle on the outside and go for big yardage.
They need to get this to the 24 on 3rd down. They'll fake the give to Ingram. Now Jackson. He's going to find his tight end, Boyle. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 16.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work. And that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a first down.
This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And he'll get 4 there, down to about the 12-yard line.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Jackson. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. Jackson always a threat to run. He's got the first down. He was the NFL's leading rusher among QBs a year ago.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
They go play action here on first down. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete. It was Trey Flowers that time who got a hand in and broke it up.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
The line of scrimmage, once again, the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. He'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down.
He was able to get away earlier in the drive, but apparently all the time they put in practice finally came to the front, didn't it? They remembered their lessons and found a way to contain him when he took off on that one.
This stadium once registered as the loudest roar ever recorded, and you can hear him now. 3rd and goal. They'll try and run. Ingram. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
So on 4th down, here's the Ravens Pro Bowl kicker Justin Tucker out onto the field. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. Tucker's kick is good. And the Ravens strike first at 3-zip. Tucker named the league's all-pro kicker for the 3rd time in 2018.
Go ahead and admit it. The only time that you get excited about Justin Tucker kicking is when he actually misses.
It's
and
rare.
excited is not the right word. Surprise is more what we're talking about. 90.1% coming into 2019. He's incredible.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Seattle's offense takes the field again. It's an offense that has been humming in 2019. They've scored at least 21 points in every game. They've also liked playing the AFC North. Week 6 with that win over the Browns, that makes them 3-0 against the division. And they're going for the sweep of the division in Week 7 when they host Baltimore.
Almost sounds like college football, doesn't it? When you beat teams within your state and you say state champs, even if you're not in the same division or in the same conference. But I love this start. Their best start since 2013 at 5-1. Before their 5 wins have been by 4 points or fewer. Some people may view that as a negative. I view it as a positive. This is a mentally tough football team.
On the upcoming schedule, we mentioned the Baltimore game, then at Atlanta, home for Tampa Bay before the big one at San Fran.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now it's Carson. And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
This is Carson, and he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Seattle, and it is the Seahawks with the football here as they've got it with a 1st and 10. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Now they'll throw it with Wilson. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. Matt Judon in there to get him. It's a loss of 5.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast and a big sack. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. They run it with Carson. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And an alley to run. Finding room inside the 40. And finally taken down at the 35-yard line. The rushing numbers for Wilson maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the 1st down.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier in this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you have something about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Wilson after the play fake to Carson. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain.
Yo, 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 yo. Yo.
To throw again on 2nd down. Wilson, they set up the screen to Penny. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. Give him 14 on that one and a 1st down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Now Wilson running left on the option. And now he'll tuck it and run. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another 1st down at will.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it. But it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
To throw is Wilson. And finding the tight end, Wilson. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. He'll get only 2 there, and it's 2nd and goal.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
2nd and goal from the 1. They'll try to run with Carson. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
On goal-to-goal runs, when you create lost yardage plays, the only way that happens is either called pressure or what I like to call straight-ahead pursuit. A great read, and they get to the backfield and make the play.
And that was a big chunk of yardage lost. Line of scrimmage at the 4. Here's 3rd and goal. From the gun, it's Wilson. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawks touchdown. Tyler Lockett there to make the grab. And the Seahawks have taken the lead. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
Myers connects on the PAT, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. That one in the books as a 12-play drive, and it all culminates with a Seattle score. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 27. The drive starts here with a carry by Ingram. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets them to 2nd and 4.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
They go play action with Jackson. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. With a sack, it's Ziggy Ansah.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. Play action. It's Jackson. That's into the hands of the tight end Boyle. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18. Nice throw there by Jackson. You think about what a boost he gave Baltimore the middle of last year, led them to victories in 6 of their last 7 games as a starter, replacing Joe Flacco, who had the hip issue. And that strong finish was good enough for the Ravens to capture their first AFC North crown since 2012. And now Jackson's a known commodity. He's the unquestioned starter, and with increased expectations and pressure on the former Heisman Trophy winner. They'll run on 1st down. Ingram, and he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. 9 yards on the run there, and it will take us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3, our score. A reminder, coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will join us from Orlando with our halftime report. But business to take care of before we get there.
A 2-minute drill before the coach's 2-minute drill.
Jackson's throw on target to Willie Snead. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Looking to throw again on second down. Jackson got a man. It's Brown. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Throwing again on second down. Jackson rolling to his right. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first.
Normally we're talking about a quarterback duel where they're matching each other pass for pass. How about the footwork in this one? Both of these guys running the ball well.
Yeah, they've mixed in the run game. You're exactly right. Now, both coaches might not like how much their quarterbacks have taken off, but another example right there of just good mobility. So it's first and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. Jackson. Stepping up, he'll try and run. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down.
Looked at me like they adopted what my kindergarten teacher always said. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And finally, able to hold him in check. He'd been carving him up running the ball.
That's the first time I think I've seen where the coverage was good downfield and they accounted for him and stopped him for a short pickup.
Yeah, I don't think it was a big adjustment, but much more emphasis on making sure they knew where he was when he decided to take off and go.
One man in the backfield, that's Ingram on second and goal. Jackson now. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Marquise Brown, the rookie, his intended target, but now it's third and goal. This stadium once registered as the loudest roar ever recorded, and you can hear him now. Third and goal. Jackson. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Brad McDougal. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead. Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation. Or go 4 verticals because why not? Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
Okay, right, Brandon. Thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to this slimmed-down version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one has been a hard-hitting affair to this point, and you got to expect we'll see more of the same in the second half. And to bring the action your way, let's get it right back out to Brandon Godden. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3.
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. This Ravens offense heads back out there, led by Lamar Jackson. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say, want to get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little and kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the third quarter. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. And the third quarter starts with a run by Ingram. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Again, they'll run with Ingram. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down. They'll try to run for the first with Ingram. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. He needed a yard. That's what he got, and it's going to earn him a new set of downs.
We ought to come up with a T-shirt and sell it that says, no indecision on 3rd and 1. And we didn't see it on that run, did we? Got his shoulders square, just got right into the line of scrimmage and picked it up.
Absolutely. Picked his lane, went with it, and converted. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. A 10th carry here for Mark Ingram. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home, yo. Let's make these...
Here's Snead as they run the jet sweep. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And the Seahawks have picked it up. Look at the big man rumble. And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks.
Great job. Touchdown today.
This was a close game. They needed a little breathing room. Boy, they got it right there on that return for a touchdown.
Yeah, we would say that this could be huge. Forget it. It was huge. Gave him a comfortable lead.
Now Myers for the extra point. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here, and sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll run with Ingram here to begin the drive. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play, because that's been an issue for them in this game. The throw there finding its way to Boyle, and he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Now it's Jackson. It's complete to Snead. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore first down. Well, Snead figures to be an important veteran presence for Lamar Jackson. 2 years ago, it was a disappointing 2017 for Snead. That was in New Orleans. But then had a bit of a bounce-back campaign a season ago in his first go-around with Baltimore. 62 catches, 650 yards. Did have surgery in the offseason on his left index finger, but back to full health and ready to go. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Here we go.
Ingram again. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Now Jackson. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to the goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 6. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Here we go.
And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Wilson. Caught by Wilson. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
A 1st down run, not going to get him a whole lot. Maybe a yard. Yeah, it looks like just 1 yard there. So that'll bring up 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 9, Wilson. And his throw here's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Rashad Penny, but now it's 3rd down. Defensively, celebration time because they finally forced an incompletion. He was perfect throwing the ball to that point.
Yeah, but from his viewpoint, they didn't force the incompletion. He just missed. That's how hot he is right now, and that's how he wants to continue to throw the ball.
On 3rd down, Wilson leaves it for Penny. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a gain of 12, 1st down Seahawks. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Here's a throw out wide complete to his running back right side. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Set the tone, defense. Let's go.
On 2nd down, here's Penny. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Third and 15 here after the 1st and 2nd down plays went in the wrong direction. Play action. It's Wilson. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens' 38-yard line.
What a catch and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them,
They get a little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game.
Wilson now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Here's a run on first down that doesn't accomplish anything. In fact, he's going to be tackled behind the line for a loss of 1.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
Green 80! All day, every day, any day. Good time.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. A little antsy on the left side of the line.
Yeah, I think they got the guy in the end. I think they got the DN there on that one. And let's face it, he is so amped up, wanting to get a good get off on the snap, jump too quickly.
And now they face a 2nd and 6 after the penalty.
You can't block me. You can't.
From the shotgun, Wilson. It's caught. Block it. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Wilson going to lead his guys up 1st and 10, and he's 5 for 6 now throwing the ball on this drive. Wilson leaves this one with Penny. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball.
48 months. Let's go, defense. Hey, man up, man.
On 2nd down now, it's Carson, and he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone getting the ball out while he's
oh, no, he lost the football. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. Wilson. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. So the pass goes out of bounds, but he was not outside of the tackle box when he threw that. He's got to be careful.
You and I both know if it's even close, they're going to give it to the quarterback. They don't want to throw that flag unnecessarily. So if you're just in the area, you're going to be okay.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
On 3rd down, Carson. And they will get to him at the 7 and stop him short of the first down marker. A good pickup there, 7 yards, but it brings up 4th down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And Myers able to knock it through. And that will extend their lead here to 17-6. A big one there. That gives them a little cushion and makes it a 2-score game.
Yeah, bled a little time off the clock, put some points on the board. It's not totally out of reach yet, but it has to feel pretty good to them right now because as a defender, you go out on the field and say, guess what? You can put some points on the board, but that won't beat us.
Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25. A couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 27. To throw is Jackson. His throw incomplete. He was looking for Nick Boyle that time, and that'll bring up 2nd down. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
2nd and 10 now from the 27.
Go. Go.
Here's Jackson. Going to throw again. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That one covers 29 yards. 1st down.
Sometimes guys get locked into such a groove. What do we call it? The game's slowing down. They see everything happening almost in slow motion. They see the lanes develop. I feel like he's right there.
Well, and you want this from your leader, right? With this deficit, this stage of the game, 2nd half, no quit in him.
0.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. From the gun, Jackson. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Jackson.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. The Ravens on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Here's Jackson to throw. This one complete to Ingram. And he can only get this to the 42-yard line, and that is not near enough. Did they maybe play that too safely on 3rd down? I know you don't want to just throw a ball blindly downfield, but that didn't help them a whole lot.
I think they probably said if it's open, take the shot. If not, get something safe because we do have 4th down to try and pick it up.
Now Justin Tucker. He has hit from 61 in his career, so he has the leg for this. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So you knew one way or another that they needed the 2 scores. They get the easy one out of the way. Now they'll get the ball back, hopefully.
Yeah, and the question is, how do you accomplish that? Do you onside kick it? Or since you have all 3 timeouts, do you kick it deep? To me, I'm playing field position. With all 3 timeouts, I kick it deep and try and pin them back there.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
What? 280.
57 to Mike. Hey, check.
Here's a handoff to Carson to begin the drive. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left. So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as he'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. Now Carson fumbles the football, and it's picked up by the Ravens. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Jackson and the Ravens, here they come. Down by 8, just over 1:40 to play. The late fumble gives him unexpected new life as they come up 1st down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. After the fumble recovery, it's Jackson. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw. He's going to find his tight end, Boyle. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Sometimes it's hard to figure, but you can live with incompletions in this situation. You can't live with these short gains that take time off the clock.
You know who loves it? This defense. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Back to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Jaron Reed muscles his way in for the sack.
Partner, you absolutely cannot take a sack in that situation. Now, it's also 4th down.
1 score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. He's back to throw. And that is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football. And he'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on 4th down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. You know, you and I have both been to practices where we've seen, hey, 3rd down situation, big 3rd down alert, lock in here, 4th down play, make sure you focus just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. The Seahawks in victory formation as they go ahead and take the knee. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game.
Line
36. Watch the slant. Check.
The Seahawks in victory formation as they go ahead and take the knee.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
So the victory here for Seattle, and I think the game balls need to be distributed on the defensive side of the football, and I bet that you would agree.
Yeah, if you hold a team under 10 points, that's a job well done, really well done. So I would say game balls for every starter and every key player who participated in this game.
Now, see, I only like one game ball. You're handing out multiple. Although I set you up by saying game balls plural, but
I like where we're going with this. Though you say one to represent like the best player of all that, and I say multiples so that you keep everyone motivated and involved.
You're a man of the people.
I'm a man of the people. I thought I was the only child.
You get a game ball, and you get a game ball. Game balls for everybody. So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. It's a win for the Seahawks here as we say so long from Seattle.